I make a lot of Facebook posts, and I really wanted to make one more before the election happens because it's a really scary time right now. But I wanted to do one of these because I wanted to make it more personal. When Trump got elected, uh, the main the main thrust was he's different, give him a chance. Now, many of us, I especially, who grew up in the upstate New York area, well aware of this guy being a complete blowhard and a liar and all these things that you don't generally want in a leader, but you know, everybody deserves a chance, right? So we gave him a chance. And what he has done since given that chance is really almost impossible to even comprehend or catalog, excuse me. There are so many issues facing so many people right now and have been throughout the entire 4 years that to go through all of it is pretty much impossible for me. I mainly focus on the present, which is incredible because the present ends up being some of the worst, if not the worst, uh, thing that he's ever done. 220,000 people, more than that actually, are dead from a virus that he refused to control, refused to do anything about, and has spent the entire time since day one lying about it. Lying about it, hiding the information, silencing people that were knowledgeable about it, trying to hide the records from other people, pulling the CDC's data away, reappointing different people in HHS. Like, nearly everything that he could have done to make this worse, he has done, including having rallies right now, right this second. Consider for a moment that other places aren't allowed to have gatherings like that. We have state laws, governors saying like no, none of these types of gatherings. There's no concerts. There's no big outdoor events. There's no there's no rallies except for his rally. Why does he get to do that? It's a well-known fact that it's a health risk, but he gets to do it. It's also been now known that his rallies have contributed to more people getting COVID. Consider that not only are the people getting COVID at these rallies, then they're going to go out and they're going to go vote. And it's just like taking a bomb and just throwing it all over the country. But that's not bad enough for him, right? He had to take it a step further. He had to say, well, it's only the blue states that are dealing with this, which is, first of all, it's a lie. But second of all, just consider blue states. Oh, it's not a problem. It's just the blue states. Do you understand the reason? What he's saying there? He's saying people in blue states are just dead to him, and of course we're dead to him because we didn't vote for him. But it's unfathomable for a president to have ever said anything like that. It's unfathomable for that to be just like brushed aside as it has been, as everything basically has been since his impeachment, since he got given a little easy ride while not having a jury trial in the Senate. He has since then not given one damn shit about what he's done, and nobody's holding him accountable. Tried to wreck the post office. People managed to stop that, kind of, but who's going to jail for that? Who's being held accountable? So far, nobody. Uh, William Barr tries to get out there and screw around with other means and stuff. Nobody holds him accountable, and it just keeps going. Um, in my state of California, we've had fires for more than 5 months, I think. There has been smoke for almost the entire duration of that period, and I, who has asthma, has to decide when I go outside Am I wearing a cloth mask or am I wearing my gas mask? Gas mask defends against COVID, or excuse me, defends against the smokes, but it doesn't defend against COVID. Gas mask or the cloth mask defends against COVID, but not smoke. So what I end up doing is I end up bringing both. I bring the gas mask to go to the store, and then I take it off to go into the store. And all of this, I have a president who has not just refused to help, even though he ended up helping in the end, he has threatened to pull funding. Can you imagine if during Hurricane Katrina, uh, Bush was like, nah, not going to fund that. No, sorry. Can you imagine if Obama, when H1N1 was getting off the ground, was like, whatever, it only affects red states. It just goes and goes and goes. You know, he got COVID. I was really kind of hoping that that would have. I know that it was basically a, a stupid dream, but I was kind of hoping that that might give him a little bit of clarity about it. But of course, because he gets the most medical assistance in the entire world, he didn't have a problem with it, and now nobody has a problem with it. His chief of staff has said they're no longer going to try to contain the virus. Period. They're not interested in it. So coming back to it, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because if you're watching this and you support Trump after all of everything that he's done, and especially these new things, I I don't know how to speak to you. I don't know how to interact with you on a human level. I can't brush this stuff aside. These are issues that affect me personally, but there's also the whole war that he's waging on LGBT people, LGBTQ. There's the women's rights issues. There's trying to deal with going after gay marriage. There's the immigration policies. Like it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And if I were to go on and on about this for the entire duration of the video, this video would be an hour. I'm trying to keep it brief. These issues are not politics. Politics is like, we have a problem with how to fund the prison system. Should we tax people for it? Should we get money from the commercial businesses or something like that? I watched a debate between Ann Revelle and Steve Cortese, which are two representatives in my area, and that was politics. That was like, all right, I can see where you're coming from, and I can see where you're coming from, but it's hard to try to figure out exactly how we're going to make this work. Whether or not people live or die is not politics, will not be politics, and no matter how many people want to kick and scream about, oh, don't ruin a friendship over politics, this isn't politics. I care deeply about everybody else being affected by all this stuff, but if you're watching this video, let's make it about me for a second. If you vote for Trump, you're voting for somebody who wants me to die because I'm in a blue state. He doesn't give a shit about the fact that we have COVID, and he wants to take away funding while my state burns to the ground and there's smoke everywhere. He wants to take Social Security away, which will destroy my family and many others, which will then become my problem because they're not going to have this money come from nowhere. I have a girlfriend who has all sorts of pre-existing conditions. If that were to get screwed up, what's that going to mean for all of us? And it just goes on and on. So if you vote for this person, knowing what I just said and how it affects me personally, you better have a damn good reason. Just kidding, there isn't one. Don't tell me about taxes. Don't tell me about socialism. There is no reason anyone could put forward at this point to vote for him other than pure, utter selfishness. And if you are willing to essentially sacrifice my life and everybody I care about for your selfishness, we're not friends. And I don't know how we can be friends. And I don't know how you would ever even consider us friends. Because that is not friends. I can't make anyone not vote for Trump. And I can't even make anyone vote for Biden. Gotta be honest with you, I was worried about Biden in the beginning. I was just like many other people, I would prefer somebody else. But you know what? I've watched his speeches, I've listened to his responses to questions, and I've read his policies, and I gotta be honest, it doesn't really seem that bad to me. He's taking things from people who I did want and incorporating it, but not full stop. Yeah, we're not getting the Green New Deal full stop. Well, getting some pieces of it. Yeah, we're not getting, you know, universal health care, but maybe some pieces of it. And if it's that versus like, compare this to Hillary, okay? Hillary just wanted to be president for some reason, but it seemed to be just mostly about her. And I would never defend any of how she handled her campaign. I personally blame the Democrats for what happened last election. Hillary didn't care about the outcome. She literally told Bernie supporters to get lost because she didn't need them. She purposely rigged the election, or excuse me, the primaries. And was she more qualified than Trump? Absolutely. But her message, literally her message was, I'm with her. It's time for a woman president. I believe it would be time for a woman president, but Biden, by contrast, is saying it's about us. And that's what we need right now. Even if you support Trump, do you really want more of this? Because here's the absolute kicker, and why even if you're a Republican, you should not be supporting this. If you vote for more of this, what you are doing is you are giving approval. You are saying, hey, everything that you did, I'm cool with it. By the way, keep it up. And what that's going to do is that's just going to embolden them further. I've already said it. They've already said they're just going to shock and awe. I can't even wait to see what's going to happen in the second term. The Republican platform doesn't have a platform. Their platform is whatever Trump wants. We're going to support him enthusiastically. That's not a party. That's not a platform. What about what you want? What about what any of us want? The Republican Party had its flaws, and I don't mind debating about that. That's totally fine. What Trump has now is not this is not a Republican Party. And I would hope that anyone who identifies as a Republican would truly maybe be upset by that, upset by the fact that their party no longer exists. Why would you give your approval to the person who eliminated your party and made it all about them? And that's it. If you give a child approval after he burns the house down, or if you come home and there's just destruction everywhere, you don't go, huh, oh wow, great, huh, nice, right on, man. Here's some baseball bats. Go at it. In fact, why don't you go over to the neighbor's house and keep it up? Except for what we have is not just that. We have somebody who murdered 200,000 plus people. And here's the other thing. I know that people think that we can just COVID doesn't matter and it's not gonna, like, we can just brush it aside and it's not gonna matter. Just keep pretending like we're rounding the corner. If people don't believe that we're getting better, because we're not, The economy isn't coming back, fuckers. It's not gonna happen. So I hope you like being stuck in your house indefinitely, because that's what we're looking at. Aren't you tired of this? Wouldn't you like to have more of your life back? Most of you people who are following my Facebook are people that I met at events. Wouldn't you like to have more events again? We're not going to have that with the administration just sticking their fingers in their ears and pretending doesn't exist. That's not policy. That's not going to fix anything. Oh, he wants to fire Fauci as soon as the election's over. Great. Fire the infectious disease expert. That's going to get us out of the pandemic. If you, I can't possibly fathom why anyone could want more of this. I haven't even gotten into the mental toll that this has taken on damn near everybody I know, even people who support him. Aren't you tired of it? If Biden wins, at least you could reset your party and try again with somebody who isn't a total narcissist psycho. And we can all do better than that. People talk about maybe this is going to start a civil war. You're really going to go to civil war over a piece of shit like Trump? Somebody who's never ever cared about anyone other than himself and has a history to prove it? That's the one we're going to go to civil war over? Give me a break. We can do better than that. I hope that you do better than that. And for anyone else who's watching this that already supports these kinds of positions that I feel, I hope this makes you feel like I'm just speaking your language and preaching to the choir. I just really wanted to make one more post before the election's over. A friend of mine always held me to the fact that when Trump won last time, I said I was gonna stop. I was done with politics. I was no longer gonna do it. Now, obviously, I utterly failed at that, right? But my issue has been that these things that have come up, I don't consider them politics. Like, why is my state on fire politics? Why is Flint water politics? Why are gay rights politics? And on and on and on and on. Why is a truck trying to ram another car off the road politics? Why is Charlottesville politics? These things aren't politics. But now everything's. But why is mask wearing politics? Just wear the fucking mask. It's not that hard. I have 2 of them. These things shouldn't be politics, but that's where we're at. So now it feels impossible to not have anything to do with politics because life is politics. If you stick your head in the sand and you go, well, I don't want to think about politics, it's everywhere. We're not getting out of this virus until we deal with the fact that somebody decided to make it all about politics. We're not going to deal with the crazy threat of global warming until we deal with the fact that people made that about politics. It's not politics. So if you're upset that I always talk about politics, let this be like as clear as possible. I don't consider this to be politics. And it's too bad that they are now. And on that note, best of luck to all of us because tomorrow is going to be rough and I am going to mostly avoid looking at stuff and just hope for the best. I have a lot of, I don't want to say faith, but fingers crossed that this time, compared to Hillary, Hillary made people upset and they left and they refused to vote because they felt very fairly ostracized. Biden and most others that I've seen have made a severe effort this time around to absolutely avoid that, and I sure hope it pays off because our country will not survive 4 more years of this. If this is what we have in 4 years, it's literally impossible to imagine what 4 more years of blanket approval when you have when you have somebody who potentially wouldn't be able to be reelected and would, since they have nothing to lose, what's going to stop them from doing literally anything they want? It has to be us. So I hope we stop them. Everybody take care of yourself. This is a hard one.